I respect Ram for doing this. A couple months ago, Ram decided to lower the MSRP on their trucks. But based off of this window sticker, which I'll show you guys here in a second, they went a little bit further. I borrowed this truck from Larry H. Miller, Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram here in Sandy, Utah. It is available. Be sure to check out the inventory. Let's go ahead and do a quick walk around, and then I'll show you guys the change they made on the window sticker. Now, I'm sure a lot of people are going to probably want to hold off until they see what Ram's going to do for 2025, but I've done a few videos on the 2025s. Number one, based off of the intel I've gotten, cabs and beds are going to be the same as this truck here. The only updates is probably a new transmission, 8-speed, probably the power line, hopefully an Eisen, but I would say this is still a perfect time to get a Ram because the price point. Now, they're going to raise prices for 2025. We can guarantee that. With that being said, when you get a Laramie, this one is spec'd perfectly because halogen headlights come standard. These front parking sensors are an option. And the only thing it's missing is a forward-facing camera, which would give you the 360 camera view. With that being said, this has a Sport Edition, painted front bumpers. You get the painted grille surround too. And you get this Sport Performance hood, which really gives the truck a nice look. Reflective style housing for the high and low beam LED, and then these are gonna be incandescent turn signals down below. And this has just enough chrome to keep me happy. It's not too much, and I like that. They do give you active grille shutters with this truck as well. That hood scoop is not functional, by the way, but these heat extractors are. Some of your badging is right there. It says turbo diesel Cummins, and then Ram. Solid front axle. You guys can see the suspension to give you a shock absorber right there. And yeah, there's nothing wrong with this. I think I do prefer the durability of a solid front axle over the independent front suspension. They do hollow this out to give you that weight savings. 17-inch wheels, still wrapped in Nexen tires. I do hope they change that for the overhaul. LT 235 80 17. And then here is the capacity for the tires. 3,085 pounds for single, and then dual is 2,835 pounds, 80 psi cold. You guys can see that sway bar up front too, and an in-link, and they give you a plastic wheel aligner. And the billet silver is a pretty paint too. And as I said, just a little bit of touches of chrome, which is perfect with the Sport Edition. Now, obviously, if you want a blackout, they do have that for the dualies too, and they still offer that. And I'm sure they're gonna always offer that until people just stop buying it. Here's your mirrors. They did update these for 2023. So you have the forward lights here. Then you have your backup for your trailer light. Both mirrors are heated, and this is power, and then power tow mode now for the 2023 plus trucks. Smart key system with painted door handles. There's no running boards, and you cannot get power deployable running boards anymore with the Laramie. They used to be able to get it, but now you have to get the fixed running boards. Outback 8-foot bed. There is the 6'4" bed option. This one does have the air suspension out back. Better look at those wheels. And you can see the air suspension a little bit better right here. 410 rear, so this does have max tow with the high output. And this does have the bigger rear brakes when you get the high output too, by the way, compared to the standard output Cummins. Assisted tailgate. LED taillights are an option, and they're full LED, by the way, too. LED license plate. You have a 4 and 7 pin class 5 hitch, parking sensors, backup camera, and you have a light strip for your conventional hitch. Spray in is an option, 5th wheel prep package. You have your 7 and 4 pin, and then 400 watts in the bed. No bed lights out back, and the high mount doesn't have LED. So I've seen a lot more trucks come in this way. Like, check out all these trucks here. I'm not sure why they're not coming in. Now, if you get certain packages, like this is a limited, they're always going to have this high mount, and there's going to be 2 cameras in there, one for the rear view and one for the bed view. But yeah, most of the Laramies I've seen don't have that option. I would never buy a truck without bed lights, and I would love to have bed view camera. This Ram does have the dual alternator setup, so there's one there, and the other one is tucked right down below this intake here. 440 watts. This high output Cummins, 420 horsepower and 1,075 pound-feet of torque. They were leading the torque wars for a while, and then Ford decided to really, you know, make that gap pretty big for them. So now Ram's back to the drawing board for 2025 because they like to be the leader in that torque number. That being said, the Eisen transmission is still behind this. This is the AS69RC. It's a good transmission, great for towing, not so great unloaded. Let's go ahead and check out the interior. Oh yeah, by the way, CP4 fuel pump. Now I know some people hate my Ram reviews because I have a lot more GM fanboys. I've always had the weirdest Ford fanboys. But yes, Ram does have the best mirrors. You know why? Both of those mirrors are heated. They also have the power tow mode, just like everyone else. They just kind of caught up there, but they've always had the power convex down below. Love that they do that. And the mirrors work great on this truck. I wish I could tow with one of these trucks just to give you my impressions towing, but when you think about the interior, the only thing this one's really missing is that center console. But you still get a lot of nice features with the 6 passenger. Like you still have those USBs down below there, coin holder, 400 watts of power inside. This one has the auxiliary switches here, and as I said, had the air suspension, so you have the alternate trailer height, tow haul, dual stage exhaust brake, front and rear parking sensors, which are both optional on Laramie. I've rarely seen these trucks without it. I hope they do add an automatic for the 4-wheel drive system. Push button start has come standard since 2019 on all of the trims. Now the gauge cluster is a standard one. You can get a fully digital gauge cluster for 2024 for Laramie. And one thing I like about Ram is they do give you great information here. So this is your vehicle information. So they give you all your temperatures under the gauge summary. And then they give you exhaust brake. This is nice to have when you're going down hills too. I like to see that working. And then they do give you one for your emissions. This is the DPF. So the truck is not in a region. They give you boost pressure, oil pressure, transmission temperature, all that stuff separately. And I don't know if you guys saw, but you have your tire pressure there and your engine hours. This is going to be the largest screen for 2024, 12-inch. Dual climate control, heated and ventilated seats. The ventilated seats are an option, heated steering wheel. And I do like their vehicle app. So if you want to lower the bed for this truck, you do have that option with, oh, my camera froze up there. But yeah, you guys see bed low. So you have those options, and also you have the dashboard. They give you one for off-road pages. Some people probably are going to go off-road with this truck, but with the dually, I wouldn't want to. And then they give you your accessory gauges here. If you go back, you have to hit the button down here. You also have your towing, so they give you those gauges there. And you can do a light check, you can set up your trailers. They have multiple trailers you can set up too. And I think that this interior is still one of the best. As far as the roof goes, they give you a black headliner. And let me just show you guys the seats too really quickly. The seats are pretty wide, so if you have a big butt, I feel like you can get pretty comfortable. They're probably not as soft as the Fords, but they're definitely softer than the GM pickups. Bolstering is really nice, a little bit of suede. Tilt headrests come pretty much standard across the board. You don't have a telescoping steering wheel, but you have power pedals down below. And then check out, this is the design that they give you on the door here. Soft touch here and up top. A little bit of storage down below. Bottle holder. 10-way seat including the lumbar. And this one has a sunroof. As far as the rest of the interior goes, nothing's really new here. Let's go ahead and check out the window sticker so you guys can see what I'm talking about, what I like that Ram did on this truck. At the very top are the specs on this Ram. Base price is $64,315. And here's just a short listing for the standard equipment. Now, here are all the options. The first one is the billet silver, which is $295. The sport appearance is $3,095. Heavy duty snow plow prep and fifth wheel prep is right there. But check out the Laramie Level 1 equipment group. Do you guys notice something there? There's something missing on the side of there. And you've guessed it. There's no price for that package. So they're not charging you for all the features that you see under that Laramie Level 1 equipment group. Now I'm pretty sure if I were to go online, they would. So maybe at some point in this video I'll do that. And then here's the rest of the features. As I said, this is the max tow package with the 410 and the high output. sunroof, 50-gallon fuel tank. I forgot to mention that this one has a 50-gallon fuel tank, and that is an option for just a measly $345. If you want to do that aftermarket, it's like $1,000 and something, if not more than that. And then you got to install it. And if you don't know how to do that, it's probably a 2-3 hour job. So figure $150 times 3 hours, 4 hours, whatever it is. And then a few other things down there, destination. And this truck is priced under 90 grand. Now, just a few months ago, this truck would have probably been about $97,000 the way it's optioned, 98 grand. So this truck has gotten a sizable discount, and you can probably go on Larry H. Miller's website and they have it priced even lower than that. So now they're definitely cheaper than Ford, they're probably cheaper than GMC, and they're probably, we'll have to wait and see, because I did a video comparing this truck with a Chevy dually. So be sure to subscribe to your channel. But let's go ahead and check out the payload, and I'll pretty much end this video. Here are the numbers on the door. Gross axle weight rating up front is going to be 6,000 pounds. The rear is 9,750 pounds. Gross vehicle weight rating is going to be 14,000 pounds. And then your wheels are 17 by 6 inches wide. All in payload with all the options, 5,124 pounds. Tire pressure up front is going to be 80 psi, and the rear is 65 psi for the duals. Interesting. Hope you guys liked the video. Cannot wait to see what Ram does. I'm glad that they lowered the pricing on these trucks. I feel like now this is in the ballpark. In the past, like just 3 months ago, this truck was way overpriced, and Ram stepped up to the plate and fixed it. So good on them. See you guys soon.